destiny. I'm open mentally. My spirit is ready for the awakening. The awakening.
Empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace.
Peace, everyone. Welcome. My name is Crystal Parker, and this is my very first episode of Real Shift Happens. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm really excited to be here. And for this first episode, I wanted to dedicate it to a segment that will be at the beginning of every episode called the 5-minute focus shift. And this is where we're going to take 5 minutes and we're going to do a guided meditation right before each episode. So this first episode, we're going to talk about that, and then we'll get into our 5-minute focused shift right now.
Returning to the source is serenity.
So before we get into our 5-minute focus shift, I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation. What we're going to do is keep one meditation for a few weeks, and then we'll change it up. So the meditation that I will lead us in for this episode and the after remarks come from the organization meditationinitiative.org, founded by Jeffrey Zlotnick. So ever since 2009, their meditation outreach program has sat in meditation with over 75,000 people. And they offer free meditation classes for K through 12 public schools, colleges, hospitals, prisons, corporations, cancer clinics, senior centers, at-risk youth, so many more, many more. It's a really, really great program. And if you're in the San Diego area, they have a center there. So check their website at meditationinitiative.org. Also, I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about what meditation is and isn't. So personally, I've been meditating for about 5 years, and I can say that it's helped me tremendously in dealing with major stress in my life. It's definitely been a great aid and tool. What it's not, though, is a cure-all to like all your problems. That's impossible. We all know that. It's not going to necessarily make the world a magical place, but it can help ease, the pains of life. Meditating is not about not thinking at all either. That's virtually impossible. A lot of people think, well, there's no way I can sit there because my mind is going and going. Yeah, all of our minds are going and going. So that's something we can't control, really. There's no way to turn that off. Our minds process an estimated 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. So it's impossible to stop the endless thoughts that our minds conjure up constantly. But it is possible to pay attention to what thoughts we're actually thinking. So when we become quiet and still, we can listen to our own mind, and all those thoughts, those endless thoughts swirling around in our minds, we can actually hear them, point them out, and pay attention to what we're actually thinking. So before we go into meditation, what we do is we try to focus on something. It could be a candle, it could be a mantra word, or it could just be the breath. And when a thought comes in to your mind, you want to acknowledge that thought. Hey thought. And then release it. Bye thought. Then redirect your focus back to whatever your focus was in the beginning. In this case, your breath. So every time you feel yourself thinking about anything, your thoughts are flowing, let them flow and redirect your focus back to the breath every time. As you continue to practice, you'll notice your thought patterns more and more in your daily life outside of meditation. And you'll find it easier to sit quietly and peacefully for longer lengths of time. So you increase your meditation time. You can increase it whenever you want. You can explore the various types of meditation that are out there, because there's so many different types. And you'll definitely find a deeper sense of inner peace that you will not find. I repeat, you won't find, I promise, you will not find this inner peace anywhere outside of yourself. So a few more things before we begin. Nothing is going to happen to you. You will not float away. You will not think nothing. You will not stop your mind. You will not have any mystical, magical experiences. You will not solve all of life's problems in a few moments of silence. There is no right or wrong way to practice. You are simply going to sit and breathe. Expect nothing from this experience but to sit and breathe. That being said, let's prepare and talk about posture really quick. So posture is really, really important, as you want to be comfortable and you also want to stay awake. You don't want to fall asleep through this, okay? So please sit in a chair. There's no need to sit on the floor, cross your legs unless you want to. Keep the back somewhat straight, shoulders relaxed. Hands can rest gently on the knees or in the lap. Your feet are flat on the floor. Your eyes will be closed if you're comfortable with that, or slightly open. Your mouth can be open or slightly closed. Slightly open or closed. I like to rest my tongue at the roof of my mouth and gently close my mouth. When you do that, you end up breathing through your nose, though. So it's up to you. You can breathe through your nose or your mouth, whatever's comfortable. And most importantly is to breathe comfortably. So that's the most important thing, is that you're in a comfortable position and you're breathing comfortably. Okay. If you need to sit on the bed, that's fine too, but just make sure you're sitting erect. You're sitting up and you're not in a position where you're going to fall asleep. So go ahead and find that comfy chair, the place to sit upright. You remember, avoid laying all the way down because you don't want to fall asleep. The whole purpose is to be awake and to be in a relaxed state. So if you're driving, go ahead and pull over somewhere safe where you can, maybe sit in the car undisturbed for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Use your headphones if you can. If not, that's fine too. And let's do this. Let's go within.
Returning to the source is serenity.
I will now guide us as we begin the meditation. I'd like you to get comfortable in your chair and relax. Close your eyes. Start with taking 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you settle into a natural rhythm of breath, Knowing throughout the practice, you'll hear sounds inside the room and sounds outside the room. These are not distractions, not disruptions, simply what's happening around us as we sit and breathe. Begin to notice the mind as it wanders, jumping from thought to thought. Gently guide the attention and focus on the chest. As you breathe in, feel the rise. And as you breathe out, feel the chest fall. Simply continuing this practice, observing the sensation of the breath. Notice the mind as it wanders. Release that thought, returning attention and focus to the breath. Learning to be comfortable in stillness. Again, taking 3 deep breaths. And slowly opening the eyes, slowly begin to move. And we're back. So the most important part of meditation practice is now, immediately after, when you realize that any sort of quiet, still, peace, or calm that you feel, or any sort of racing mind you may have, has nothing to do with anything I said. It has nothing to do with how you sit or cross your legs, and it has nothing to do with the sounds around us. It has everything to do with our own mind and your own mind's reaction to external situations. What we realize from the practice of meditation is that this is our life every day. Things happen and we react. More things happen and there's more reactions. So most people respond to meditation quietly and peacefully. But the question is, how do you respond to everything else that happens in your life? For most of us, this feeling is quite different from how we felt an hour ago, or how we will feel an hour from now. What we are working on is closing the gap to where the way we feel now is closer to how we will always feel. Just as driven, motivated, successful, and productive, yet with a mind that is steady and focused, distracted by nothing and disturbed by no one. Meditation is not easy, it's not fun, but it's free. And it takes nothing but a few minutes every day and a busy racing mind, which most of us have. Meditation is not an escape from reality. It is a direct perception into your own thoughts. When we are in a good mood, it is from our thoughts. When we are in a bad mood, it is from our thoughts. Once we stop trying to change and control everything outside of us, we work on changing our mind, our heart, and our reaction to the world around us. Life gets a little easier, a little more peaceful, a little happier. Yet ultimately, nothing changed except our own mind. Wow, that's powerful. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you got something out of the power of stillness. Next week, we will, of course, have our 5-minute focus shift, and we will discuss the Great Awakening. So if you want to chime in on that topic, go ahead and hit us up on the Anchor FM app and look up Real Shift Happens, and you'll be able to leave us a message there, and we can maybe incorporate that into next week's show. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast. But until then, real shifters, go within and make real shift happen.